Blanky?
Sure, honey.
I love that that's how the stream started this evening.
Sorry.
First words out were, "Hey baby, can
Give me
you
like
give
a
me
folded
blanket?"
up blankie.
That's so
I
great.
have like a folded because I want to put my laptop.
Welcome, everybody.
That's right.
I love you. Thank you.
We love you too.
They all love you too.
Love you.
So,
Just
now
walls the
that
size.
now that that's over, welcome to the Holy Rollers, episode number 21. Tonight we will start like we do every week with our roll for prayer. Those have already been done, and I believe Stephanie has the honor. So, Stephanie, take it away.
Okay. Hang on. Let me bring this to fruition. Okay. Yes, thank you, love. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for being exactly who you are, whose character is perfect and whose way is in our favor in everything. Thank you, Father, for knowing what you're doing even when we don't. And thank you, God, for working even when we don't feel you or see you to our benefit and to protect and provide for us. We ask, Father, that this session bring glory to you. We ask that you bring people to us to watch our content who will benefit from it and who you may speak to, and people who may not even know you yet. We ask that they see something in us that is reflective of you. Please give us good rolls tonight and give Brandon bad ones. In your name we pray, amen.
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 Man, I've never been. I think that's a first time that anyone's ever asked for me to roll bad. So, way to go.
Unless you're saving for us, unless you're saving our lives or something, then you can roll well.
No,
You should have asked that then.
that's right.
We're going back into prayer.
Too late now.
Everyone bow your heads.
That's
Brad.
right.
Version 2.
Yeah, that is right. Yeah, so welcome. If you are joining us, if you're returning, if you are new to the stream, welcome. We are a nerdy group of Christians who enjoy playing D&D together every Thursday. So thank you for joining us. If you wouldn't have watched us last week because I was at Disney. So there's that. I do have my lightsaber sitting not far from me, so if players get out of hand tonight, they might get the lightsaber at some point. we don't know yet. You never know what'll happen.
Okay. Goal number 1, get out of hand.
That's right. We want to see this. Yeah. So we'll hop right in, kind of to where we left off last week. The group has made it to the capital city of Fisari. That is the easternmost kingdom in our world, and as they made kind of landfall there at the docks, Devlin checked in with the dock master, was getting the ship kind of in a little bit of better shape, maybe some repairs done on it. After a few months at sea, the group made its way into town. In the midst of kind of going through the streets to the inn, they ran into a group of bandits. The situation was quickly resolved by Devlin, and that is exactly where we left off. So, I would say, as the group has now kind of made their way through the city and into the inn, you've split off. You've got your rooms. You've done your thing. So we will, for where we'll pick up tonight, we will pick up just early the next morning, and so go for it.
So we're all coming down for breakfast and kind of thing. So Terrence orders his, 1 dozen eggs and steak.
Raw in a glass. Rocky style.
Right.
Well, half in a glass,
no,
half
are you
cooked.
Gaston now? That's 4 dozen eggs.
Oh, sorry. 4 dozen.
No, now it's 5 dozen.
You know how
Gaston.
bad I wanted to break into song right there? And I'm not a bard.
No.
Not even close.
Now that I'm a man, I eat 5 dozen eggs.
And now we're copyright claim off the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
as long as it's kept under 30 seconds, I think we'll be okay.
Wow.
It's a parody. It's a parody. We're safe.
That's right.
Trust me, if I were to sing it, nobody would know what it was from.
Algorithm would be confused, huh? Yeah.
Wow.
Gaston would be like, no!
Devlin would find the group and he'll actually go to Terrence really quick, watching him scarf down his eggs.
Yes.
Good morning, mate. I have a question for you. Well, the group as a whole, but I gotta go back to the ship to pay off for at least today, because it's per day the ship is allowed to be in the dock. Do you have any guesstimation about how long we're going to be in port?
Well, seems to me like we're going to be searching for something. It's going to take us several days to research. I would say that if we went with 4 days, will they give us any money back if we're not there as long, or do they keep the whole thing?
Not quite sure. I have a feeling you don't get a reimbursement, but it's better to have the money there and not need it than not have the money in and need it.
And come back to nothing at the dock.
Okay.
Which is what we will.
At our
So-
ship at the bottom of the bay.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we
Repay
Why
like a
don't we-
month.
yeah, pay for a month, and I mean we can afford it. So let's pay.
I mean,
for a
I was going to
month
say a
and-
week, but
I was
I
going
was
to say
thinking,
we.
you know, I was
Okay,
going to say
let's,
we
here,
do-
let's pay for a week,
That's
and
fair.
if in a week we find that we need more time, we'll go back and we'll double that. That
Let's
way
be
we know
honest.
we have-
Given our track record, we get kicked out pretty quick, so
This
a
is
week
true.
would probably be fine.
Let's go with a week.
That's fair.
Right. First thing after breakfast, all good to take care of that. Thank you, Terrence.
Yep.
You want us to contribute towards this? We can have some of what I have.
Same.
Didn't we keep some set asides for things like this?
no,
Or
we
did
divvied
not?
it all up.
No, okay. I didn't know. I couldn't
Yeah.
remember.
So a week at 10
Yeah.
gold pieces is 70 gold pieces. That's
Well, there's.
I'll
6
pay
of us,
20.
so that's
I'll pay
That's,
20. Y'all can pay 10 apiece. We can get it back later somehow.
I was going to say that'd be about 11, 12 pieces, 12 apiece.
Yeah.
No. I'll take care. Right, I'll take care of it. More shit.
All right, well, that's generous of you. Thank you.
okay.
Thank you.
Well,
All right, so
then I've got your meal for the day.
You beat me to it.
You can have my meal, and you can do my first drink.
Fair.
Meal from, but he specifically says drink from Muriel.
Mhm. You got it.
So,
Okay.
what is the plan for the day?
I
Well-
want to find a library.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking a library, some sort of information center. We got a couple things we need to look up. We need to figure out gold dragons. If there's anything over here that like a location that they hang out. We need to do some research on this amulet.
And
see-
any references to Vathnagoth.
and Vathnagoth as well. So kind of need to
So,
go through all of those.
I'm gonna ask a question. Albus and Muriel, since you two are the biggest study people.
You calling
would
us
you
nerds?
mind- No, because you guys are way too
Because I
powerful
wear
to
it
be
with
nerds.
pride, Dennis.
Yeah. So
Or
nerds,
Terrence.
I
I
mean,
take second.
so nerds. I mean, Muriel and
Yes.
Albus. Would you guys mind starting the process of that? I would like to find a temple to Jehovah and spend some time there today.
I'm fine with that. I mean, that's going to be boring for anybody that's not super into this. So
Nobody should go anywhere on their own. This is a strange city and unfamiliar people. So if you go, take somebody with you. Maybe Mara.
If Mara would like to come, I would love to go with her. I don't really feel afraid, so
No, but we need to look out for each other.
this is true. You have that mind link that you can get with me.
Yes,
I don't know. I can't call to you, so
true.
I don't know how you want to do that. Is that going to hurt you studying if you keep a link?
The link can only last for a few moments. I would
Oh,
rather
okay.
leave it for emergency. Like if
Well,
something happens to us, I will call all of you at once.
Okay. And if something happens to me, I think you'll know.
We'll be hearing the explosions and screams from a while away, I'm sure.
Well, I have where is it? I thought I had. I have a unseen servant. Am I able to? If you cast unseen servant, can you send them to go find the party?
They can carry a note. They can't speak.
Which would serve its purpose if something happened and I needed to get a hold of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be able to tell the unseen servant to go to the library.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be a workable solution, DM, or is that more than what it should be doing?
Mindless servant. I don't know that that's going to do what you're thinking it's going to do from a standpoint of the movement of the servant itself is actually a lot smaller than you think. It can perform a task, but it can only move 60 60 feet away from you. So.
Okay. Then never mind.
So you could send a note across the library, unless it's a big library.
So I wonder if we could, before we split off, maybe we could find a magic store or something, see if there's anything that we could find about communication.
Some kind of a communication.
That would be nice.
That's a great idea. Why don't we all go to a magic store? Because what could go wrong there?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we have some money burning a hole in our pocket. I suppose that's a valid way to spend it.
Oh, that's my thought.
Yeah,
I agree.
Oh, magic store, and then we split off if we, whether or not we find something, but
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is to Mara. Mara, did you want to go to a temple with me, or did you want to do something different?
Well, as a barbarian, books are not my thing, so I was probably gonna go with you anyway.
Oh, okay. and then I'll offer the same thing to Raja and Devlin because I don't know if they're interested or if they have other things they wanted to do. So, Devlin and Raja, did you want to go with me to the temple, or did you guys have something else you wanted to do?
Well, Devlin said he's going to the docks. I figure I'll accompany him since everyone else is pairing off.
Okay.
Except after I go to the docks, I was going to scuttle about the underworld and see what the streets have to say.
I can't imagine a better person to take with you than a gold dragonborn.
He's
See,
your
that's
bodyguard.
That's the reason I don't want him to come with me. I can exist on the streets and be perfectly fine. He already been pickpocketed once since we got here, and he had the intimidating crown.
Tell you what, if you would rather Raja come with us once you're done at the docks with Devlin, you may absolutely do so.
Nothing against you, Raja. Just I want to try and see if I can work my charm and see what the locals are really saying. Might get some information about the pulse of the city.
I mean,
Raja,
I can be charming.
You're what they'd call iconic, and you're hard to kind of ignore.
You're a mark.
Well, maybe I should come with you then, Devlin.
No, you're going to the temple.
I can do that at any point. I mean, I just don't want to see Devlin get hurt.
No, Devlin can take care of himself. You saw him with those ruffians on the street.
This is true.
It's more of a.
Are you putting Jehovah second, Terrence?
No, I'm putting Devlin as important, and Jehovah would understand that.
Well, I appreciate it. This is just the scum tend to relate to the scum, and are more willing to talk if they're kindred spirits.
Now, who's calling you scum?
Well, I think he did.
Well, I mean, if you're insisting, then I guess I
mean-
got no argument.
You can accompany me to the docks, absolutely. Just from that point on. Where do
Okay.
you want to go? I can at least drop you off, if that makes you feel better.
Yeah, I'll make my way somewhere.
Making our way.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
Could be interesting.
Well, we'll meet back here at sundown. And if one of you doesn't show up,
We are a search party.
I can find you within 15 miles.
What?
So don't be late.
Would that cover the entirety of this city? DM?
I think so.
It looks like it should.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I might get a nosebleed after, but it'll be worth it.
So we're all going to the magic store first.
Yes,
Oh,
correct. So we finish our breakfast.
Okay.
Now I have to know what Albus's breakfast is, because it's a rare and beautiful thing to see a habitus make breakfast. I need insight as to Albus's way.
Well, Alice is very much kind of gone since, like, he has not eaten the same since Better Duck's death. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Did you lose power?
Now you're breaking up.
You sound like Iron Man.
Sorry, gonna have to bear with me. All power gone.
Okay. Power went out. Fine.
No.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
But
We may have to wait on the description
Yeah.
of breakfast.
yeah, I'll give you a description later.
That's okay.
Yep, that'll work.
It's glorious, whatever it is.
Side note, out of character, is anybody else having issues with D&D Beyond?
Not at all.
It's a little sluggish tonight, but I pulled up my sheet fine.
I keep getting error messages, so I've been able to not access my character sheet.
It does that so often, and it's all since the OGL
Yep.
fiasco. It's like they
Mhm.
quit bothering to update it or keep it moderated.
Like they got mad at us for paying for it.
right.
Right?
Anyways. All right. So shall we go to the magic store?
Yes, let's.
All right.
Well, let's see.
Where's the nearest magic store?
There we go. I would say since you guys decided to that you just decided to walk out aimlessly, you spent the better part of about 3 hours just kind of roaming around town, only
That
to,
sounds like us.
only to end up back right at the front of the inn.
Hey, nabbit.
Okay, so now we're gonna ask somebody.
Yeah, boy.
Magic store is. All right, so Terrence goes back into the bar. Terrence walks up to the barkeep. Hi, my name's Terrence. What's your name?
Ah, hello. My name is Wilfer Proudfoot. How are you?
Well, Mr. Proudfoot, I'm doing great. So we left here about 3 hours ago in search of a magic shop, and we are now back here because we have yet to find one.
Then
Do you
I
happen to know
I
where the
heard
closest one
I
is?
heard you all talking about it, and you walked out in such a gust. I figured you knew where you were going.
We did too.
You,
But we didn't.
yeah. Do you happen to have any kin on an island off the coast of Fisari?
I do not believe so. I
No,
guess
no
it's
worries.
certainly possible.
I was curious. Continue. We can't hear you at all, Jesse.
Can you hear me now?
That's better.
Okay.
Yeah, it's much better. So, about those directions.
Well, I believe the magic shop you'll be wanting to go to. It's in the northern part of the city. Jesse, I am going to... Actually, if you can, mute yourself, because I'm getting, I think, me through your speakers.
Got it.
There we go.
Let's see if that's better. Yeah.
Much.
Right. So yeah, so he lets you know that the only magic shop in the city is in the northern part of the city. So if you're on D&D Beyond, I'll kind of give you the
Well, I'm not
layout.
even on.
Oh no!
I'm an idiot. I didn't even get on Roll20 yet.
I'm on roll.
I know.
Not yeah,
For
Roll20,
shame.
not D&D Beyond.
I knew
thought
what you
that's
meant.
All right, so as you're looking at the map, I'm going to draw you some little circles here. So right now, you guys are right here. That's where the inn is.
Okay.
There it is.
Obviously, big shiny building is going to be the cathedral.
Okay.
It is
Kind of hard to believe it's
It is flanked. So these buildings back here are, they are smaller, almost like temple buildings themselves. It looks
Okay.
like they are possibly dedicated to the other gods that are worshipped throughout, throughout the region. As you make your way kind of north, you come to kind of the inner gate of the city that leads into the more prominent area that's in the northern part. So kind of where he described to you would be roughly about right here. Is where about the magic store would be. Obviously, castle. If you don't know where the castle is, we've got other problems, and we'll talk about that after we're done tonight.
Yeah.
Everything else, I mean, it's a pretty common, as you would think of like a large city. You've got your garrisons and your barracks that kind of sit along the eastern walls, near the dock, and just about up to where the inn is. It's pretty slummish. You kind of have your, we'll call them fairly close to middle class, kind of on the western part of where the castle would be, and then your aristocratic high-end shops, high-end homes, and all that are up above that northern wall. Now, the castle itself, and unfortunately, the map's not going to really give you the depth of what it looks like. The castle itself sits up to where nothing is above it.
Makes sense.
So, it's kind of the central point of the city, and everything else kind of cascades down from it, if you will. Just to kind of give you the visual.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you
Are
very
we
much.
just gonna try and remember this, or are we gonna ask said barkeep for a map?
I think that was an illustration of where we went.
Oh, no, that's just how to get there.
Yeah. So
So-
we ask. So I asked the barkeep if he can draw this out for us, or if he has a map of the area. I know
Well,
that maps are going to be hard to come by, but
I do not have a map of the area. You could go to the local general goods shop. They could probably sell you a map of the city for 10 gold.
10 gold. Okay,
You-
where's that?
You all look like you're a man about means. I'm sure 10 gold would be nothing for you.
Well, I
Yeah.
wouldn't call us wealthy.
And the general store is it's right next door.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
Um,
convenient. Okay.
Perfect.
So
I was about to say we need a map to the general store as well.
so Terrence
That
hands
map
him
is
a-
expensive.
Terrence hands the barkeep a gold piece.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I
Thank,
appreciate it.
thank you. He flips it up, catches it really quick, kind of puts it in his pocket, and goes about polishing the same glass that he's been polishing
Didn't
for the
bite it to
past
make sure
4
it was
hours.
real.
He did
Right.
not.
He looks at the paladin and is like, "Yeah, we can trust
we
that.
can trust this one.
He's not running around with fraudulent currency."
That's right.
Yeah, I'm not sitting there with minting my own. All right,
Yeah.
so let's go over to the general store and see about getting a map. Maybe a map
right.
of the whole area.
All
That'd be
right.
good.
So we head next door.
Head next door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like we're shopping today, guys.
I guess so.
Shopping montage.
Quick
So-
80s music.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. I walk in and find the shopkeeper and go, "Hi, my name's Terrence. What's your name?"
Ah, good morning. I am Zenlos.
Fenlos. I'm looking for maps.
Well, you come to the right place. I see my brother Wilford sent you over.
Yes. Something about a map for 5 gold pieces?
Oh, that's the special map. Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Make a deception check.
Terrence,
Whoa.
you naughty boy. Oh my gosh.
I got a 14.
It's not bad.
It's not
I'll guide
bad.
you. I'll guide you. Like I'm all for some skullduggery. Like I'll guide you. Add a D4.
What am I talking about? Devlin is just going to observe this and say nothing.
He just wants to see what's going to happen. Wait a minute, the paladin really did that?
Yeah, right. Paladin pulling a fast one.
What was your
Paladin
what did you add to your roll with your D4, Terrence?
Oh, sorry. Hold on. I added 3. So I got
So
a 17.
17 total.
That's better.
Yes, indeed. Come right in. Come. So you walk up to the counter. He lays out several maps. He says, "Well, depending on what you're looking for, this is your 5 gold map." And he rolls it out, and it's a picture of the inn and a picture of the general store.
Heck damn it.
Devlin just starts laughing.
Terrence laughs.
I like this place.
You
I do too.
Okay.
that shiny gold man, I like you. You're a funny guy.
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. He did say 10 gold pieces. So I would like to see the map for the city for 10 gold pieces.
So he rolls out a couple of maps. Well, if you look, you have this map. It is 7 gold. Not as quite the detailed. You can, and as you look at the map, it's not great. It looks like maybe a 5-year-old got a crayon and drew like a circle on it with like a square in the middle that you can kind of tell
boy.
is where the castle
Okay.
is.
Let's cut to the chase. What's a good and finely detailed map we may use as tourists?
Oh, well, that just so happens to be the 10 gold map. So he lays it out, and it's pretty daggum close to the picture that I'm showing you.
We'll take it.
Okay, so rolls it up.
I deduct 10 gold.
Actually, deduct 5. I'll give him 5.
All right.
Here you go. Thank you. As
And I give him 1 silver piece because, he made me laugh.
so as Muriel hands her 5 and you hand your 5, you notice he does check Muriel's gold.
You know what? I'm actually kind of flattered that someone thinks me capable of that.
Never
Now-
can.
I can't bless.
Now now that we've got that, I ask him, okay, so in case we find that we need it, do you have maps of the area outside of this city that would be detailed enough that we could find our way to things very easily? I know they're going to be more, but
They are quite a bit more expensive. They are not updated as regularly as the other maps are, so I think the most recent map is probably maybe 5 to 10 years old. But I do have one. It runs about 25 gold.
Well, I'll tell you. Hopefully nobody buys it. We'll find out within the next day or two if we're gonna need it, and I'll let you know.
Okay.
You'll be our first stop.
Yes.
I will take it and roll it and put it underneath my desk just in case my new friends come back.
If you please say in this accent, it's a good deal. You'll buy.
It's a good deal you buy.
Thank you. My life is complete now. I think our work here is done, and shall we head out to our respective to the magic shop?
Yep.
Goodbye, my new golden shiny friend.
Goodbye.
Gosh,
Devlin will tip his hat
Everybody's a
to.
friend.
I'm getting strong Borat vibes.
Very nice.
All I can say is everybody's Terrence's friend until they're not.
Yes. Great success.
Great success.
All right,
I
let's
love it.
head. Let's head to the magic shop,
Yes.
shall we?
So,
Shall we?
you get to. Alright, so you are leaving here. You're gonna go. And you get right here. And as you come to the kind of the opening of the gate, there are several guards posted, pretty equally spread out, 3 on one side, 3 on the other side, with the 2 kind of central being closer to the center. And as you walk forward, there's a bit of a line with people coming in. There's various horse carts with various goods trying to get into the northern part of the city, and you now have the guards that look fairly intent on checking people in to get to that part of the city.
Do we notice that they're checking for anything specific, or is this just a general checking you out to make sure they know who you are?
Would you make a perception check? And anybody that's along can make it as well.
I got a 17.
Not bad. I got a 2. So I'm still looking at the walls and stuff. This is a really interesting city.
You're not
Her
even.
face is in the map.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got
Yes.
19.
So I got a 19, a 17. Rachel, what did you have?
A 19.
19? Okay, so you were the 19, or were there 2 19s?
I got a 17 on the die, and I don't really know what to add because I still can't access my character sheet.
I'm so
Oh.
sorry. D&D Beyond does have an app through the phone. It might work for you.
Let's see. Perception.
In an emergency, that's what I do.
Kyle, you've got a +6 in perception.
Yeah.
So
I
that'd make
bet.
it 23.
Nice.
Strangely,
Yeah.
Strangely, this Devlin is the one person who isn't carrying at the moment with a 10.
Oh no, Muriel really didn't care with it too.
Yeah.
So.
No, I'm observing the early Tamrielic architecture, and I've got my nose in the map.
Right? Yeah, there you go. So as you're standing back in line, probably 6-7 spaces back from kind of where the front is, Raja, you notice that they are looking at specific papers. They are looking through the carts, but very quickly you notice that the guard on the right-hand side quickly stuffs a bag of coin in his pocket.
Ooh. I sense some dishonest guards here. I relay all of what I just saw to the party.
Okay.
Just kind of slightly pointing out the guard to the right in particular.
So just so you know, this does irk Terrence considerably.
Oh, that's exactly why I'm pointing it out, because I want to see the show.
Did you get any news on those papers, though? If it's a literal passport to get in, then that should
We're
have
not
been
getting it.
notified. We're not getting it.
It looks I would say with the rolls, kind of what you're seeing is it looks more like manifest of what is in the back of the carts than it does, passport please.
So kind of like a list of what we have.
Yeah.
Oh.
It could
Well,
also
Mitchell?
just be for show while the guards are like taking the coin.
So Terrence is like grasping his sword pretty tight. Like he doesn't like this. He's kind of upset. Does not like the dishonest ways of a guard shaking down people to get in. Doesn't feel like this is the right way to be. And is very flustered and is right now just internally seeking what to do from Jehovah, as in, do I create a spectacle? Do I make this a big deal, or do I just let it go and walk through? Maybe ask Devlin to take lead on this, because there's just no way. If I open my mouth, they're gonna get a tongue lashing, if not more. That's his mindset and what he's thinking and praying to Jehovah. So, what should I roll, DM?
Make a religion roll.
Oh my god, 6.
Ooh.
Hey, you contemplate pretty heavily on it. You really don't get a sense one way or the other of. I'll just say, you don't feel calmed.
Okay.
I'll try talking first, but gestures to a pouch that he has just put about 25 gold into, if needed. I'll try talking first. Maybe we don't need to pay the toll, as they say, but
So Terrence is going to, since he said that, Terrence is going to take everything in, and he's going to kind of go in the middle of everybody so that he's kind of away from it. He doesn't really want to, because he's afraid that if he hears the guard ask, he's gonna
snap.
react. Yeah.
Mm.
And the least amount that he'll do is punch him. So, and he doesn't want to. So he's trying very hard to keep himself
Under control.
And maybe even asking Raja to help keep him under control, because he knows that Raja's probably one of the few who probably could.
Can I roll a perception to see if I
None.
notice how much he's struggling with this?
I'd say since you're close enough, I don't even know that I do perception being that close, but yeah, perception for lack of better things to roll for.
Okay. 13. Do I detect he's like struggling with this?
I would say with the 13, maybe not completely, but enough to know, like, just Terrence's facial expressions have changed to maybe he's a little angry. He's an angry elf.
Is Terrence an elf or a human?
He's a
Human.
I was about to say, have I thought that boy was a human or a human this whole time? Okay. Then I won't say anything, but I will keep an eye on him.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so, the line has now moved. You've got one horse that's in front of you going in, and they're taking their time with this one. You watch as the guards kind of really pilfer through the back of this wagon, and are shouting at the man and the woman that are kind of, on the front, demanding to see their papers, and there's they don't have any, and it looks like there's possibly like maybe a language barrier between them, and they're just going after it.
do we recognize the language at all?
You do. I know at least Albus probably would, with it being, gnomish.
Sure.
So Terrence is. I can tell you that Terrence is really struggling because at this point he's seeing bullies, and that is his big thing. So you probably see Terrence tighten up considerably, flexing, not to show off, but just trying to keep himself, but starting to take a step forward. He's getting ready to do something. This is ridiculous. Actually, you hear him say, "This is ridiculous."
I'm gonna pop a calm emotions. I'm gonna step into the middle of the group and kind of hide behind some of my bigger compatriots, and I'm just gonna pop a 60-foot calm emotions. And it's not really gonna be like an oppressive, obvious thing. It's more just if you choose to fail the charisma saving throw on purpose to be calmed, you may. But otherwise, people would have to make a charisma saving throw.
Would we have noticed if they were like confiscating anything? Because I'm thinking about the dragon eggs at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But
They would
they're
have to know-
searching they're searching
Here-
merchants.
Here's the thing: with bags of holding, you have to know what you're sticking your hand in for, or it will not come to your hand. So the eggs are safe, provided we don't tell them they're there.
Or they're not looking for them.
How would they know? How many dragon eggs are there in existence? I sincerely doubt these 2 city guards are going to be looking specifically for them.
Well, Mara's not. I don't think Mara's smart enough to think that anyway. Sorry.
What's the save on the...
I'm going to use a warlock slot. It's going to be a DC 17.
Okay.
If I do a charisma save, I have a +8 on it, so I think
You
I'm
can-
just gonna hold off.
You can choose to fail if you want to be calmed.
Okay.
If you know this is getting out of control in your own heart and head, you can choose to be calmed.
Okay, hold
Do
on.
we-
I am actually gonna roll while you guys talk this over. I'm gonna roll a dice to make my decision.
Do we all have to go in, or like, can Mara try and convince Terrence to like go take a walk or something?
Unless he was still going to go to
I don't think you're going to.
Terrence wasn't that one.
Does that mean you are calmed or you're not calmed?
Well, I rolled a 15 on my save.
Well, you're calmed whether you want to be or not.
Okay, so that's what my whole thing was. Is anything under a 3 I'm gonna roll the save to see what happens. Anything over a 3, I'm just gonna be calmed. So I'm glad it worked out. But I was like, that one, oh my gosh.
I really want to, if I can, get to. It's a 60-foot range, so if I can, I'd like to get those guards in that range. Specifically.
At that, you would be close enough from where you're at already. They did all fail their save. So you kind of watch as the situation diffuses rather quickly. The shouting subsides. The pilfering and kind of throwing things out of the cart has turned into putting things back in the cart.
There we go.
They're not quite cheerful, but they're not in that
They're not being turd blossoms.
Exactly. So at this point, after maybe about 5 more minutes, you watch as the wagon in front of you begins to roll, and as the group comes to the gate, you get the quick shink. State your business.
Devlin will shimmy up forward. Good afternoon, officer. We are just... Produces his paper that was verified by the dockmaster, stamped. We just came in from the docks yesterday. We just have to do peruse some goods and business up in the north. We just we're told to head this way.
Picture paper, looks it up and down for a minute, closes and hands it back to you. Where are you headed?
We were informed that there was a magic goods shop just in the north of the city.
You take this northern road all the way, you will
Living
find
with
it.
metastatic breast cancer means
What is the name of that magic store? We were just directed in the location, but not the name of it.
You are looking for the magic candle?
Magic candle. Thank you kindly, sir.
And that's it. It unsheaths, they kind of step back, and you guys, you head right on. I will say that Muriel, I will give you inspiration for that because you saved you saved that.
Thank you. I haven't used that in a long time.
I will say that I was trying to be true to Terrence, but at the same time, I was trying to do everything I could not to do.
Totally, yeah.
I was kind of waiting on. I was anticipating this. I was anticipating the stupid to the point that I built an encounter.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
I'm sorry to make you waste that effort, but sorry.
I wouldn't say that it's for naught, because you never know with us.
I was going to say, there's always the trip back.
That's fair.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we haven't gotten to the magic
That's
shop
the truth.
yet.
Oh my gosh.
Because we're splitting up after the magic shop.
Yeah.
There is so many opportunities.
Don't worry. You'll have your chance, Brandon.
Exactly. All right, so I would probably say maybe another 5-10 minute walk, just straight north through that gate, along kind of that main road that goes north. You come to the shop. Very easy to see that that's what it is. There's a gorgeous sign that's kind of inlaid with gold letters. It's on a very dark, like, oak wood that almost looks like it's been finished and burnt, so that you kind of get that really good char look to it. The magic candle is, like I said, kind of inlaid in gold. As you look at kind of in through the window, you notice just all kinds of different oddities and everything. So yeah, you've made it to the shop.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Who's behind the counter?
As you walk in, you are greeted by a female dwarf without a beard. Sorry, guys.
Well, then how are we supposed to know? I'm kidding.
Well, that's how we know. She doesn't have the beard.
So
I feel...
she kind of pokes her head from around kind of the counter. She was kind of working down below it. And good morning. How can I help you?
Hi. We are new in town, and we've heard such great things about this magic shop from not one but two other businesses in this area. We were wondering if you had any sort of communication devices.
Oh, you've been talking to those brothers, haven't you?
They're sweetie pies, aren't they?
I love them. They are just the greatest people. By the way, my name is Elif.
I'm Terrence.
Hello, Aelith. I'm Muriel.
Well, you certainly are a very interesting looking group for sure.
What
We'll
can
get
we
that
say?
along.
Friends are made in the strangest of places.
Aye, that is very true. Well, you'd mentioned communication devices. Let me see what we have. So she hops in behind the counter pretty quickly, and just you hear just kind of pink, and almost as like cartoon, just kind of shoveling things from behind her. And she comes back up and she places down on the on the counter a stone.
This is the exact device I was thinking of when I asked this question.
Well, I would certainly hope so. They don't really come in many different shapes, my dear.
Is there not a pair?
Well, of course there is, but I'm only going to show you one we just met.
It's entirely fair.
I like you, Edith.
Like going to the shoe store. What is it about me? Do I scream like
You're
thief?
a tiefling.
No,
That's
she's
fair.
a savvy
With
businesswoman. She's a
with
smart
a tentacle.
businesswoman.
That's fair.
I mean, dear, you are blue and you have horns. What would you expect?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just gonna swallow my.
Would you believe me that the man in gold is the least trustworthy of the entire group?
He's right, you know.
Raja looks at Devlin. Which golden one?
You know, the one with the sword and shield.
Terrence looks at you and goes, "Yeah,
Heck, nabbit.
which one?"
Actually, in truth, it's the little one who wears the dread helm. He's the one you really got to be afraid of.
She just kind of looks over at Albus and just you almost see like this blush like come across her face. It's actually kind of endearing.
Oh,
I hate that Jesse's here that he missed that.
I know.
I know.
You'll catch it on the replay. So wonderful. How much for the pair if we were interested?
Well, but these are they're very special, as you know. You knew exactly what they were before you walked in, so you know they're not going to be the cheapest.
Of course.
If they were the cheapest, that would be bad.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not looking for Verizon here. We're looking for T-Mobile.
Oh, well, in that case, you hear that, T-Mobile? That's who we're looking for. I believe we could possibly part ways with them for maybe 100 gold.
So
100 gold. Hold that, Lita. Okay. I'm saying that
for
out
both
of my
of them or each.
It's for the pair, and I know I'm so sorry. I know it's very expensive, and just know that I'm not trying to cheat you. It is what I believe.
Do you
they're
have
worth.
enough for all of us?
How many of those do you have?
You hear as she goes back underneath her counter and just starts like shoveling madly through. She picks up a box and puts it on the counter, and there are anywhere from about 15 to 20 of them in that box.
I look at Terrence and I mutter, "Sweet Jehovah."
Yes, he is.
From what I understand, we'll take 6,
Yes.
and we're probably not done.
Okay.
Do you happen to have healing potions?
Yes.
I know. I look at Albus and I say, I know Jesse's not here. I know you make them, but sometimes I think it'd be nice if we each had one just for giggles. Do we each have one?
As the DM, I will straight up say I have no clue if you have them or not.
Nope.
I have a greater, but I made it.
I don't.
We divvied them up at once upon a time, but I think a few of us have used.
Yeah,
check your inventories.
We do
Raj
have
has used
2.
his.
We have 3 in the bag of holding. 3 potions of healing greater.
Okay.
So we could use a few more.
Do you have superiors?
She goes back underneath the counter and begins chucking things out, which is her favorite thing to do, obviously, as you can tell.
Clearly.
I do. I have the ones that are superior. I also have I have 2 supreme.
How much for the supremes?
The supremes. Give me a moment. I have to dig through and see what I can find. So she goes to her book and begins kind of flipping through it. Kind of watch her. She kind of scans up and down, up and down, up and down, and She comes back and closes the book, kind of walks over. The Supremes, dear, those are, I could do 75 golds a piece for the 2 Supremes. The healing, if you buy the Supremes plus your stones, any of the other potions, I cut you a deal, and I can do those for possibly 10 gold apiece.
We will take them all.
Yes, take them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll jot it down real quick just so I've got it, and then let you guys figure out what you're doing with it. So you now have 2 Supreme.
Yep, I'm writing it down in the chat as well.
Okay, cool. Then I'm not going to write it down.
Yeah, that's good.
You have 8 superior, and then you have your.
What's the value of those 10? The 8 superiors specifically.
100 gold
Total?
Yeah. And then the stones you bought 6
at 100 apiece.
At 100 apiece.
Okay.
All right, so that's what we're doing as a group.
Yes.
So 850 gold total.
Yep. Well, we might not be done. I kind of quietly say, at these prices, we can't really afford to leave anything on the table.
I'm gonna get, if I can get something that will enhance my strength, I'm gonna get it. So I look over at the lady. Do you have anything like a ring or anything like that that will enhance strength? Something that will go with my armor, something that I can wear, something that's constant.
I don't believe I do, my dear. Give me a moment and let me look behind my counter and
Love it when you look
tossing
behind
things. She throws a from the bottom. She kind of throws a bottle onto the counter. She kind of pops back up and she says, "I don't have any items, my dear, but I do have this. This is a potion of Hill Giant Strength. That would be the only thing I have for strength."
Yeah, we already have a potion of Stone Giant Strength, so I imagine it would do about the same.
I believe so.
Do you happen to have any crossbow bolts that are magical?
I do not. I'm sorry.
Do you have any weapons whatsoever that are magical?
There are no weapons in my shop.
Okay.
Do you have an immovable rod for sale?
Immovable rod. As she goes back to her.
I was waiting for that.
Oh, yeah, it's my favorite part of the night. It's tossing things over my head like a dog. My dear, I've looked and no immovable rods.
Okay, last thing, and I will leave you alone. Do you have a potion of maximum power?
Give me a moment, and
which sounds like a made-up thing, but it's real.
It does. She goes to throwing her things. She comes back up. My dear, you're in luck. I just happen to have one more. This potion, this is, as I said, I have one left. And, this one is expensive. It is also 100 gold.
I'm trying to contain my glee.
Could be the fact that we have,
Yeah. Well, even if we hadn't been like,
it's still good price.
Yeah, like is this like, okay, I have to know, is this like a currency exchange rate thing? There, wherein like to me as a player, these feel like fairly inexpensive pricings. Is this like what we can expect from Fisari as a whole? Or is this just this particular shopkeeper undervaluing herself?
So it's probably more this shopkeeper herself.
Okay.
There is a bit of a coin exchange rate that would be kind of from the capital to going out into places to where even if she's selling things for a modest sum, if you will, she would be able to take that money out and would do very well for herself.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're not screwing her.
So Terrence looks at her and says, okay, so I've tried for a couple of things you don't have. What kind of rings do you have? Let's just start with that. What do you have?
My rings? Well, she starts throwing things over her shoulder. At this point, the pile of things that has amassed behind her looks like a closet in a cartoon. Where it's just like chairs are sticking out and just everything. She finally gets down to this box and she opens it up. And she goes, well, my dear, the only 2 rings that I have in the shop, I don't know that they're the kind of magic you're looking for.
Are they wedding rings?
I mean, not unless you and that pink-haired lady back there are, kind of a cute couple.
Luke and Leia time.
The entire group except for Mara and Terrence.
Okay.
Mara snaps out of her like glowering because she blushed at Albus, and she's just.
Which, by the way, I rolled investigation for the shopkeeper to see if she knew.
Swear.
Nat
No.
20.
Oh my gosh.
Even NPCs unconnected to the party are figuring it out.
Right.
Oh my god.
Within moments of meeting us.
Yeah. So.
Crying. Oh my gosh.
Gosh, Mara, are we stupid or what?
Actually,
Speak for yourself, Terrence.
On second thought, I don't know that these 2 rings would be for you two, but I don't know, maybe the pirate? Surely not the dragon. Although. Interesting. Okay, never mind. And she just tosses the rings behind her.
Thank you. No. Yeah, we're not that. We're not those kind of friends.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else we might require or want. Can you all?
Oh, not unless we have something we can fly. That'd make life easier, wouldn't it?
Do you have potions of flying?
I'm sorry, my dear. We do not have any potions of flying.
Oh, that would have been too easy. That's okay.
Yeah.
Or clothing, like boots or something. Boots or.
No.
Is there
Jacket?
anything that you can think that you would want out of here, Devlin?
Actually, yes, I was waiting for you lot to
Speak up. I'm sorry.
He shimmies up. Do you happen to have a spyglass? Nice spyglass for a ship, Captain.
Well, give me a moment and let me take a look.
It gets funnier.
With every time.
I believe, my dear, you would be looking for one of these. And she lays out a fairly small rod. It's about maybe 6 to 8 inches long. And as you look at it, you know that it's telescope, just based on the way that it's kind of stacked at the end. Make me a persuasion check roll. Devlin.
It's going to be an 18.
Sorry, needed some water.
You're fine.
So, as she sets it on the counter, she just slides it over to you. My dearest, you must understand. My father was a sea captain, and this was his.
What was his name?
His name
If
was...
she says torn sail, I am going to lay an egg in this place. Do you
Oh,
You
understand?
wouldn't be the first one.
Right.
Also, he's not a dwarf, but
Nobody dead down.
Fair enough, but
Well, his name was Orth.
I can say, truly, if there's much sentiment attached to this, then I didn't want to remove you from this heirloom of your father.
Oh, no, my dear. While it would pain me to see it go, it would be good for me to know that it's back on the water where it belongs.
I can respect that.
May it guide you to the places that you want it to go.
I will. How much for the spyglass?
Dear, as long as you promise to take care of it always, it is yours.
He
Aw.
removes his hat, revealing his water genasi tipped ears. I regard it with my life. As one of the sea, I promise thee.
I definitely going to stand by what I said. You people are a very strange group of people.
We get
Believe it or
that a
not,
lot.
I'm the newer
Yeah.
edition.
I'm not so sure what you see strange about us.
He will respectfully, gingerly take it and place it inside of his. Oh, do you have a waterproof container that this could fit in for documents?
She pulls out almost like what you would expect, like magic scrolls or some type of scrolls to go into. Just a standard kind of leather canvas tube, little cap on it, pops it off, looks in it real quick to make sure it's empty, and hands it over to you. Dieter will, I would say, add 5 more gold to what you're spending, and it is yours.
I'm gonna just pay out of my pocket initially. We can work up at how to pay me back or whatever our parts are later. But I'm gonna give her 1,000 gold over instead of 950 because she's been such a fantastic saleswoman and service person.
Okay.
Are you giving her all gold, or are you just going to pay her in platinum?
I want to get rid of some of the gold because the platinum's lighter.
Fair enough.
If I were actually in this world doing these things, the gold would be the heaviest object. So 1,000 less, and you have our sincerest gratitude.
Thank you, my dear. You come back anytime.
Oh, we will.
I have one final question in parting for you. You mentioned you don't carry weapons, you don't sell weapons. Do you know a swordsmith or a blacksmith or one that does sell weapons around here?
Glad you asked.
You could possibly check down towards the dock area. There's no weapons or armor allowed to be sold in the northern part of the city.
Really?
Oh, that makes sense. This is the high-end part of the city.
I think you've had. Thank you very much, Elith. We're glad we could support your business this day.
Interesting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bow, remove his hat one more time, put it back on.
As we walk out, Terrence looks at her and may Jehovah bless you and your shop. And he walks out.
Alright, you guys are just standing in the middle of the road.
Well,
Now what, guys?
I
Is this
pass
where
out
we-
the stones. These are sending stones. you have to talk into them. They only work within a specific distance, but they will allow us to communicate. Will they allow us to communicate like conference call, or are they just paired off?
I don't know.
I mean,
It
if
might-
DM allows it, we could probably conference call and centralize one stone in connection with all the others.
I'm gonna have to do some Arcana.
Raj is looking at his stone like, and how does this work?
You touch one stone, and you can use an action to cast the sending spell from it. The target is the bearer of the other in the pair. We have 3 pairs here.
So we don't quite know who we're talking to. We just go out and...
She did have a box of like 20. So there's a chance.
They're probably color coded or something.
Yeah, you would hope.
I'd imagine.
I want the blue one. No. Sorry.
You're going to be one of those that tricks out your cell phone, aren't you?
I am gonna have fun with this though.
With the glitter case.
So
The pop socket on the back.
Yep.
while you do, so each of you now has a sending stone.
A sending stone. Just one.
Just
we don't
one.
know who it connects
Right.
to.
I will say for the purpose of how awesome Aelith was, that she made sure that you had at least pairings for each.
That's good.
So we'll talk to someone in the party, but who knows who
We
it's
don't know
gonna be.
who.
Yeah.
How-
I mean, I scarcely want to render my new party trick completely obsolete. So that's fine by me.
Now,
This is
for
good
the quirk of your sending stone,
Yes.
They'll connect the shopkeeper
each
occasionally.
of you have them. I won't tell you which person this happens to, but every one of you has, when you're trying to send a message, there's an obnoxiously loud ringtone that you can't change or turn down
Aww.
with your stone. One of you, and I'm not going to tell you who it is until it happens, your stone is voice activated. So if you're just holding it and trying to talk, it will try to send that message to someone else.
This is fantastic.
Now,
I am here for it.
Here's the caveat to that someone else. It's not connected to the 6 of you.
Oh my gosh, so it's some rando.
It's some rando.
Wait, so if
great.
Raj is holding his stone right now and just talking,
It's randomly sending someone that message.
If it's you.
If it's you.
I was gonna say, is there a way for us to figure out like who
we wouldn't
that is?
we wouldn't even consider it probably.
Great.
Nor would we realize that because, well,
Right.
that person's probably
Right.
not enough. Unless
Until-
we're going by them as it's happening.
Well, friends, we cast off into the wild blue. We'll see how this works. Try not to get arrested. Try not to add to the population or subtract from the population. And we will meet back at the inn/tavern at dusk.
I don't know what you're inquiring.
I am the perfect gentleman. I don't understand what you mean.
I give you the stink eye. Mm-hmm.
I smile.
I look at Mara and say, "Keep an eye on this one."
Oh, don't you worry.
And I link arms with Albus. Oh, perfect timing. I link arms with Albus and I consult the map and try to determine where the library would be.
Alrighty. Well, alright, let me clear my drawing.
I'm just gonna follow Devlin.
Alright, so, we've established that the church and temples are this area here. The library is up here. Devlin and Goldie are headed here.
Goldie.
Alright. So, let me make sure I have this right. Devlin and Raja, you are heading to the docks to make some payments.
Yep. And then Raja will be doing his own thing while Devlin goes to...
Skulking about.
Exactly.
Got it. Muriel and Albus will be going to the library. Nerds.
Yeah, we are.
And Terrence and Mara, you will be heading to the temple.
Yes.
Got it. Alright, so... Devlin. Raja. You guys, it takes you probably the better part of maybe an hour and a half, fairly close to 2 hours, as you work your way through the crowds of the city down to the docks, where just the same as yesterday, as you come towards it,
Come on.
just a massive amount of ships coming into port. It's like watching airplanes come into an airport. They're as lined up as far as you can see. There's ships departing every few minutes. Doesn't take you long to find your way back to the dockmaster's office.
Is the Duck Eternal still there?
The Duck Eternal is still there. Looks a tad bit shinier than when you left.
Scraped all the barnacles off.
Yep. So, as you enter into the dockmaster's office, it's not the same gentleman as you had met yesterday. Newer one, younger looking gentleman. This one's human. Pretty standard looking, medium build, brown hair. And he just kind of looks and, can I help you?
Good afternoon, lad. I'm the captain of the Duck Eternal, one of the ships down the port. I'm come back to... Only paid for 1 day, I need to pay for the week. Right, to use the dock.
Alright. Opens up his book and flips through. Yeah, there's the Duck Eternal. You said a week?
7 days, aye.
Alright. Gold, please.
He will take 100 gold
Okay.
in a bag and place it on the counter.
Picks it up and tosses it in his hand. That's definitely a little more than what's needed, but we'll make sure your boat's taken care of.
I think it's important to tip the dock workers. You're the ones who are underpaid, understaffed, but also you're the ones who are doing the meat of the work, and so a little bit to go around to make life just a little bit easier. Aye.
So, before you walk out, if you don't mind, sir, we're gonna move the vessel.
Oh?
We're gonna
Why is it gonna be...
We're gonna bring you up to one of the front docks.
Oh, thank you kindly. What dock number would that one be?
You'll be at dock number 3.
Dock number 3.
So as you look out, if the if the office is there, Dock 3 is this one here. So he moved you from kind of one of these little side small ones down to really one of the main three of the main docks. And as you kind of look across it, it's one of the only 3 docks that you actually see city guard patrolling the dock.
Oh.
So
Thank you kindly, my good man. And a good day to you. We'll be back in hopefully a couple of days to either take my boat out if needed or pay for the next week.
okay.
Nah. Great day to you.
Alright, so as you depart from there, I know what you're doing. Raja, what are you doing?
Raja, this was the fun part. Raja's just kind of wander aimlessly because he glanced at the map, but he doesn't have the map. So,
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
and he was not thoughtful enough to ask for it. So he's gonna take what he can remember in his mind.
Oh boy.
And what should I roll for memory?
I will say, before Raja and Devlin depart, Devlin would just suggest well, they did say that there was a weapon shop on this side of the city, so if you're looking for something to do...
Yeah, I'll probably check that out.
Okay.
Anyway, safe business.
To you as well.
Alright, so...
And we'll split off. So what should I roll for memory as far as the map?
I'm gonna have you do a survival check.
Alright. I'm gonna need someone to tell me my plus so
2.
after I roll.
Oh, yeah.
10 plus 2 for 12?
Alright, so 12.
You remember there's a map.
You do know that there is a map. You remember that the city itself is roughly shaped like a bean. That the castle is the highest point. And that you went through a gate somewhere.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna make sure to stay out of the small alleys.
Okay.
And I think I'll just wander in the general northeast direction.
Okay. So as you are kind of making your way about town, if you will.
Walking fast, faces past, and I'm homebound.
Sorry.
Love it. Make a perception check and
Always.
add 6 to it.
19.
All right, so 25. So you're.
Well, sorry, 13 on the die for total.
Oh, gotcha.
19.
It's total
Sorry.
19. Yeah. So.
Do you roll with advantage due to your shield?
I actually do not have my shield equipped. It is currently in the bag of holding that I have in my possession.
Well. Alrighty.
So, as you skulk about town, you don't find what you're looking for because you have really no idea where you're going, but you are very perceptive of really everything that's going on around you.
Just kind of sightseeing, people watching, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, that's mainly what I'm going for. I've got no particular goals in mind. I'm just listening, watching, that kind of thing. If I hear something, awesome. If I see something, even
Our
better.
Dragonborn is people watching. Great.
Yeah, right. What could go wrong? All right. Devlin.
I feel better about leaving him in the city than you.
Fair.
I might go check out those guards.
Parents. Remember what I said, do not subtract from the population.
That's right. So let
I
me
might be able to
clear
bring him
my
back.
drawings here. So, Devlin, as you leave the
It still
dock
counts.
manager's building, kind of to your west and up this way, just from kind of your understanding of major port cities that you've been to before. You know, kind of that general look of sketchy, if you will. So as you make your way that way through the narrow corridors of, we'll call them these are what I would consider these like the major slums of Fisari. What are you doing?
One, alert, head on a swivel. He is trying to ascertain, okay, there's corruption in the city, on the docks, but he's a pirate, so he's going to try and go where the lowlife would go, just to get a pulse of how bad is this city? How much at home could a potential pirate be, to get a bit more information about the going-ons.
Okay.
So be keeping an eye out for a potential pickpocket or someone who looks like a potential pickpocket, and make an approach there, speaking in thieves' cans, if to kind of signal I'm looking for information, I'm looking for my people.
Got it. Okay. Make a perception check.
25.
Okay.
Nice.
You notice out of the corner of your eye, as you pass by a specific one of the alleys. The alley doesn't cut all the way through, so it cuts down just far enough and goes into a dead end. There's a hooded figure kind of standing against the wall. And you just know, right? You've been around enough people that you just kind of get that vibe. He's your kind of people.
Resist that a little. And we'll slowly approach. Again, he knows the dance. You don't want to look like you're approaching, but you also don't want to look like you're threatening.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as you get close, kind of notice the hood kind of shifting its gaze more towards your direction. There's something I can help you with.
Thieves can't. Just wondering where a pirate might be able to get a drink and a little bit of information.
Immediately recognizes your thieves can't. Come with me. So he walks down what appears to be that dead end, and with a quick rap on the wall, a door opens, and you hear the ever familiar sounds, smell the ever familiar smells of a pirate tavern.
Salt and body odor.
Yeah, pretty much.
Salt. Heavy scent of salt.
Rotten wood.
Smells like Axe body spray and vodka down there.
Can't
Cheap
forget
as
the
it
cigar
comes.
smoke.
Alright, so you make your way down not even a full flight of stairs. It's probably 2-3 steps down. There are probably 5 to 6 large tables that kind of flank either side of the room. There's a large bar that runs the entire length of the back of the room with a kind of a central port opening where waiters or waitresses can walk out from behind the bar. There's no semblance behind the bar of like a kitchen or anything, so it looks like it's just what they've got is what's against that back wall, and if it's not there, you ain't getting it.
How busy is it?
It is. It's fairly packed. There are maybe 3 to 4 open bar stools at the bar. Most of the tables are probably a half to 3/4 full.
The hooded figure, did he follow me in, or did he make his way back out?
He made his way back out. Almost as
Before
to...
he'll nod, and with a flick, he's going to toss behind him a small bag of 10 gold, just kind of nonchalant.
And
thank you.
he,
Silently.
without even looking back behind you as that gold comes over, he just reaches up and catches it and makes his way back out.
He'll approach the bar, one of the open seats.
Alright. So, as you approach the bar, there is a dwarf. This one seems to be a little different than most of the dwarves that you've seen. He's a little taller, so instead of like 3 foot, he might stand closer to 4. He would be the giant of the dwarfs. Very portly. He looks like you could roll him. You could like put him on his side, and he'd still be as tall, and you could roll him. Beard that runs about down to his belly button that's like tied off into like various knots. Just this massive mustache that kind of runs the length of his face, but it's distinctly detached from his beard.
Fellow Moodkin twirls his mustache. I'll have an ale, please.
Alright. What kind of ale will you be having?
Whichever's closer to you and easiest for you.
That's what I like to hear. He draws an ale, turns back around, kind of slides it across the bar from you.
Catches it. Takes a gold, slaps it down. Thank you kindly. How bad is it? How cheap is it?
Slightly better than...
Pig swill.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a nice way of putting it. It's not the best beer you've ever had. Definitely not the best. It's also not the worst you've ever had.
And Devlin's had some worst.
Yeah.
Compliments. Would you happen to know who a pirate would need to talk to get some information? Or where to be pointed for information?
Well, that would depend on the type of information you're looking for.
Well, to start with, just a gist of what the city's like. Really. Like, only just came into port yesterday, trying to get my lay of the land, as they say.
Well, buy a few more drinks and I can tell you all about the city.
Puts another 10 gold on. As they say, Cliff notes it.
Right, well, the city obviously is split into two. You've got the upper half where your nobles live. You've got the lower half where the rest of us live.
Very pensive up there. There was a bit of a checkpoint which ran into prickly guards.
Ah, yes.
Seems rather riled up.
Most of the gods are on the take.
And who's the one on the take?
That would be the captain of the guard.
Poor choice. Who then would be the one running the show?
That, my boy, will cost you a lot more than that 10 gold you put down.
Finishes his measly ale. Think it as much. He'll take 20 out. Don't believe me too much. I'm just trying to respect the pecking order, as they say. Don't want to step on too many toes. Don't want to pretend like I'm something I'm not. As they say, respect the rank. Just trying to make sure I'm doing my due diligence.
So he takes your additional money that you put down and...
I've been removing it, don't you worry.
he kind of slowly moves that to almost mid bar, and there's a hole in the bar. Almost like you go to a poker table where you check your money in and they take it and kind of fold it down into the box. You watch as he hits a certain point and all the money just kind of funnels to that point and drops into an unbeknownst box in the bar. So I would say for the sake of time, as over the next several hours, he keeps feeding you just piss poor beer. It is what it is. Let's call it.
Yeah, well, at least he's not getting drunk.
That's fair. Yeah, exactly. The more you talk, the more that you begin to understand that the king of this region is fairly far removed from the daily happenings amongst the people. Typically, it's left to his court to do things. Might pick up on a few interesting names from the court. When he starts talking about the guard that over, kind of that shady element, he gives you two names. He doesn't know their first name, but he's able to give you their rank and their last name. The one that seems to be running the gates is Lieutenant Twinkill.
Sound like Lieutenant Twinkie.
The captain that he reports to is a Captain Hunter.
Twinkill and Hunter.
And I was going to end it there, but no, I want to do one more thing before we end tonight. Yeah, so at that point, a few more hours pass. You finish your drinks. You kind of have your information. You kind of leave through the same door that you came through. As you're walking out the alley, the gentleman that led you in is still there. He kind of gives you a brief nod, and you kind of go about your merry way.
Back. He would have done, as he left, the round on the house. One round on the house for the remaining patrons as a sign of goodwill.
I would say by that point, it cost you like 15 gold to buy what was left in the bar around.
He would do so again. Show of good faith. He's the new pirate in town, and also as a unspoken thank you to the dwarf barkeep.
Oh. All right, Albus, are you back?
Sort of.
I don't know. I can hear you pretty good.
Yeah, really.
All right, so here's kind of what I'm thinking since we're running tight on time. Muriel and Albus, we will pick up next week with you guys at the library.
Okay.
So, Terrence and Mara. We're gonna step back a little bit time wise. You two at this point have just left the magic shop, kind of behind everyone else. And you're making your way south, heading in now through the gate that you came through to get to the northern part of the city. The same group of guards that were there prior are still the ones that are still working. And not far, I'd probably call it maybe a quarter of a mile from that gate down, you hear the ringing of the church bells. So you know that you're getting fairly close. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you would like to do here prior to going to the temple?
Terrence is trying to stay on his best behavior going through that gate, so I'm going to do my best to focus on those church bells and that. So unless they do something, Terrence is just going to walk through like nothing ever happened, like the good old boy he is, and try to get to that church.
Okay.
Don't tell me. Roll initiative. No.
No, I mean, that was kind of your chance to punch him if you wanted to, but, you know, you did so well. I'm so proud of you.
Terrence kind of has this understanding that, okay, I have Mara with me, and you remember he is the protector, and as much as he hates bullies, right now if he's not seeing them actually bullying, he can kind of go on his way by and no harm, no foul.
You make it sound as if Mara couldn't hold her own.
No, it's always the fact that no matter who, Raja could be with Terrence, and Terrence would be like, I have to protect. So it wouldn't matter who it was. That's in the back of Terrence's mind. That is his mission. That's what Jehovah has called him to do. So I mean, if anybody were to ask him about that, that's what he would tell you is, I'm called to do this. This is what I am called to do within this group, is to protect.
Mm-hmm. No, gotcha.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take you long from that location to get to the temple. It is it's a fairly large building. As you kind of make your way up the front steps and open the door, there's a small lobby with a few small altars kind of off to the side. You would almost maybe if someone was ducking in for like a quick prayer during the day, instead of going all the way into the chapel, they might use those. Okay. There's 3 sets of doors, far right, far left, middle, and as you would enter, that it's either going to run you down a center aisle all the way to the altar, or kind of two auxiliary aisles on either side. It is fairly standard. You've got pews every few feet, starting from on the right wall, kind of all the way down, kind of facing to the center, with about a 10-foot aisle before you get to the center pews that run down 10-foot space, and then the ones on the left that run down. So fairly, fairly common setup, if you will. Altar up front. Candles are lit throughout, as well as braziers in the ceiling. Ceiling probably stands fairly close to, I'd probably say about 45 feet. Gorgeous artwork adorns the ceiling. Kind of these gorgeous, almost Corinthian-like columns run the length as well, and so you are now inside the temple.
So we're basically right inside that foyer area.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of people around us? Is a service going on?
There's not a service going on. The bell that you heard, you notice that it cuts off fairly quickly. It's kind of giving you the impression that it's probably fairly close to about midday at this point. So not only is it used as a church bell, but it's also used as almost a timekeeping device for the city.
Okay.
At least the lower quarter, anyway.
So there's not a lot of people around us, though.
No, at this point there might be, I would say, total 10 to 15 people there, including you two.
Okay. So Terrence turns to Mara and says, so Mara, my reason for wanting to come here is a few things. One, this is the house of Jehovah. This is the place where multiple people come to worship at one point in time, at one time. But this is not the only place. This isn't his building. We're his building. This is just a place for corporate worship, and I wanted you to see it. But also, I want to come here to find out. I want to get a gauge of what the church is doing in this town. After seeing those guards, I've got to assume that this church is trying to do something, and if we can help, I'd like to offer my help. But if it's not, then I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to talk to them about it. But I just want you to know this is a temple. This is a house of Jehovah, and he's here with us, and he's going to protect us. So if there's anything that you want to do, this is a great place to stop and talk with him. You don't have to pray. You can just have a conversation with him. Nothing more. Nothing's expected. I am going to go and give my givings to the church as is part of being a paladin of this church, but feel free to stay with me or have a seat and talk, or what you feel comfortable doing.
Okay. So she would probably just like take a seat in the back, because she did intend on coming here to at least attempt to pray. So she'd kind of just sit down, and she would kind of like, I guess, bow her head, put her hands together, kind of like she sees Terrence do, and like the people who were in the temple before, like she met everybody. And she would probably just say something very simple like, Jehovah, I really don't know how to do this, but I see Terrence do this all the time. I think he says something like, may your will be done, and you told me to seek you, and again, this is kind of what Terrence does, so this is me trying. And she just kind of just sits there and just kind of
Make a religion.
22.
It's a better religion check than the paladin.
I was thinking that.
Good gracious.
Wow.
Jehovah's really getting there on Mara. He wants her.
Yes.
So,
Apparently.
He's gone to the mat for
Right.
Mara.
He's more in tune with Mara than he is with Terrence at the moment.
oh, absolutely.
Terrence can take care of himself.
He seeks the least. It's fine,
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Leaves the 99 to find the one.
that's it.
Amen. Hallelujah.
So, Mara, as you kind of sit in quiet contemplation and having, were your words verbal or more kind of talking to yourself? Well, not talking to yourself, but were they inside words or outside words?
So they would have been like quiet outside.
Okay,
words.
got it.
Like kind of like talking to the floor because she had her head
Yeah.
bowed.
Nope, got it. So as you finish, no words come to you. You definitely don't drop into another trance and have another vision, but
Thank goodness. I think Terrence would freak out.
the
Jehovah's abandoned me.
kind of that familiar warmth that you felt the last time that you saw the figure
Mm-hmm.
kind of rushes over your body again. It's very subtle, it's very quick, but it's definitely noticeable.
Interesting. Where is Terrence at this point?
Walking down towards the altar.
Okay. She'll wait then. She'll just kind of like sit in the warmth for a hot minute.
Okay. Alright. Terrence.
So I am looking for who I would assume would be the priest, the high cleric, whatever you want to call the person who's in charge, or somebody who has authority within this particular church.
Okay.
As I'm walking down towards the altar, I have a couple of things to do, and DM, you're gonna like this.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
I'm hoping.
Alright.
So I'm trying to get down to the altar though, because I know that's usually where you do your tithes or givings and stuff like that. So.
Okay. So yeah, as you kind of make your way down the aisle, you come to the altar, and off to, as you're facing to the right, you can kind of see within almost a small office, if you will, a robed figure sitting inside.
Okay. So I see. I'm assuming that I see somewhere where they would have the collections for giving, right?
Yes, yeah. It's off. It's kind of in between where the altar is and where that office is. There's a kind of pushed back, almost not quite full shelf, more of like I'd call it a tall table. Think of a sofa table almost.
Right.
A little bit taller, but it's a little wider as well, with a large box that sits.
So Terrence pulls out a platinum piece and puts it in the box, and he prays.
Okay.
Jehovah, this is yours. It's all yours. None of it's mine. So I give back to you to further your kingdom. I pray over this, and I ask that you make sure that it is used to further your kingdom, that it is used for nothing else, and that only furthering your kingdom will come from it. Father, give me the words to speak, and give me truth as I walk through here. Help me to discern what's going on in this city. help me to understand, and help me to glorify you in all that I do. Amen. And he gets up from there and he walks towards the robed figure in the office and says, "Excuse me, my name's Terrence. What's your name?"
I am Brother Dante.
"Brother Dante, well met. I am a traveling paladin of Jehovah, as you can see. I'm sure that it's apparent. I am here to ask you a question, based on what I've just witnessed outside at the gate. If you have a moment."
Indeed, come in, Paladin.
Then he goes in, and I'm assuming there's a chair in there or something he can sit down on.
There is.
And he says, "Brother, I'm conflicted right now. I see bullies and I see uh, dishonest guards at the gate, and I see nobody from Jehovah out there talking with them and trying to change them. What's going on?
Who would you have us send?
Do you not have other paladins? Do you not have clerics?"
There's not been a paladin here for years.
What? I Terrence is just kind of stupefied because he just can't imagine what happened to the last paladin that was here.
They were killed.
Hmm. That's disconcerting.
Ow.
What's the church's stance? To just let it happen?
You tell us who to send and we will.
Have you been seeking Jehovah to bring somebody?
Of course.
At this point, you can kind of see the frustration in Terrence because he's not sure, because he understands, I mean, this doesn't normally happen. If there's a temple of Jehovah, there's a paladin somewhere nearby. So he's kind of worried, but so he asks the brother, he says, "What do I need to do to help your church aid in this?"
Well, Paladin, unless you were able to reach the king, I doubt there's anything you can do.
Have you no authority through the church to be able to speak to the king?
Not in this land.
Who would have that authority to speak to the king that I could go to and speak to?
You could check with possibly some of the members of the court, but none of them leave the northern part of the city to come to the south. The guards do as they wish. And for the past 3 years, we've now gone through 6 paladins. So you tell me again, what would you have us do?
Who's killing your paladins?
I don't know. I have suspicions. But if I brought them up, I wouldn't be the only person hanging on a cross in this building.
Terrence stands up and goes over to the door, slams it shut. "It's just you, me, and Jehovah right now. What are your suspicions?"
It's the guards. It has to be.
So the guards are killing paladins. This is unheard of. This does not stand.
There's certainly those amongst them that are certainly strong enough to do it.
They can't come against my God. What have you been doing in the northern part of this kingdom to proselytize, to get followers?
We have not the members to send north. What you see here today is probably the most people we've had in years. And these people only come for what we're able to give them. They're not here to learn. They're here for the handouts of the church.
Is there a prominent church, god, deity, whatever, in this town?
At this godless place? No, we just happen to have the largest building.
Okay. Let me pray for you real quick, brother, because it sounds like you're under the spiritual battle, and I want to pray for you. Yeah, Terrence says, Jehovah, touch the brother here, touch this church, strengthen them, strengthen me in what I need to do, and help me. Help this church to grow. Help this brother to be bold in his witness to you. And I pray that you bless every part of this church. Holy Spirit, just fill this church right now and make it so that when they walk out of here, they have boldness and that people will come not because of the handouts, but because of you. In Jehovah's name, amen. And he gets up and he says, I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to talk to my party, but I'll see what I can do. No promises, but we'll see where Jehovah leads me. And he opens the door and starts walking towards Mara. He's not happy. Just
Okay.
Alright, so as Terrence Huffy stomps his way up the aisle, kind of that.
He's
clink,
muttering
clink,
to
clink,
himself,
clink,
grumbling.
clink, clink, clink. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't look good.
So,
Are we gonna have to go slashy some people?
Well, Terrence is still trying to find out what Jehovah wants him to do. He doesn't want to be the seventh paladin laid
Yeah.
out, but at the same time, he can't imagine this
Yeah.
standing, and he can't imagine him not doing anything.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is
that-
yeah.
Well, at some point, like after you get out all your frustrations and stuff like that, Mara's probably gonna look at you and be like, Terrence, I'm incredibly frustrated at this point. Like I can feel. I think that's the Holy Spirit. But like I've heard nothing. And it's been like a month and a half. And I just don't know what to do at this point. Like seek him. I'm trying and it seems like nothing's working.
So Terrence sits next to her and contemplates and says, Mara, there are times when the Holy Spirit just soothes us, and that's our answer. He lets us know he's there. He gives us his presence and allows things to happen that are outside of our understanding because he thinks differently than we do. He allows things to happen sometimes for his glory so that he can show up and he can do things that we couldn't even imagine. He doesn't always tell us what he wants us to do. Sometimes he leads us gently. The Holy Spirit Go ahead.
Is there a chance that you are said paladin that they've been looking for all these years? Is that something that Mara would know, first of all, like would guess at that point, like trying to figure this out?
I'll go with yes. Narratively, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Well,
So I'll ask that. I'll be like, is there a chance that you are the paladin, like, given everything you've told me so far?
there is, and there is not. I don't want to do it because I'm angry and because I feel the injustice in it. I want to do it because he leads me to it.
Well, I mean, we're here.
We're here. I'm feeling like this is it, but I also don't want to abandon our group.
Mara being in childlike faith is just like, well, I mean, like I was saying, we're here. We're all here. Obviously, Jehovah brought us to this temple for a reason. So I'm not a very smart barbarian, but it just kind of seems like maybe this is what I've been looking for. Maybe this is what you've been looking for. I don't know. But it seems a little too coincidental.
Terrence is taking this all in, going, wow, the wisdom from our little Rue barbarian. Going, am I afraid that I can't do this? This is my calling, to stand up for Jehovah, to stand up for the church, to stand up for righteousness and goodness, to stand up for justice, which is not being done here.
Mara is seeing a side of Terrence that she probably has never seen before, and she's just like, but you've been doing this for so long. Why are you doubting him now?
I don't know if I'm doubting him or doubting me.
Well,
but I think I have my answer. I think he used you to answer my question, my faithlessness. And in so, I think we need to go talk to the group.
And that is a great spot to stop for this evening. So, if you joined us this evening, it's been just a fantastic session. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. If you're catching us on YouTube, please feel free to like and subscribe. Also, if you're bored at night, you ain't got nothing to do, just pop on our playlist and let that bad boy run. Even if you throw it on mute and you don't listen to it, I don't care. I need the watch hours, so get after it.
But seriously, listen, because it's good.
Yeah, exactly. So
love the storyline.
So thanks so much. Have a great, wonderful, blessed week. We will see you next Thursday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Good night. God bless.
Good night.
Night.
bye.